This is Galaxy Television News. Thanks for joining us. The headlines. Senate has now reconsidered the controversial Electoral Act Amendment Bill, and this time empowering INEC to determine the mode of transmission of election results. Chidinma Ojukwu, main suspect in the murder of Super TV CEO Michael Ataga, pleads not guilty to 8 counts of murder, stealing, and forgery. And outside Nigeria, Crete has been shaken by an earthquake with a magnitude of 6.4, according to the U.S. Geological Survey, which placed the epicenter on the east of the Greek island. Those are top stories. Details will come your way in just a moment. Now we'll bring you details of the news headlines and other stories. I'm Solomon Ofem. The Senate has now reconsidered the controversial Electoral Act Amendment Bill, and this time empowering the electoral body INEC to determine the mode of transmission of election results. The Senate also voted in favor of having political parties conduct direct primaries as against holding both direct or indirect primaries. Galaxy's Godfrey Shemgo reports that this was the main highlight at plenary and the Senate Tuesday. The report.
Following the outrage and widespread discontent that drove the passage of the bill in July, the Red Chamber has finally had some of the clauses revisited. These clauses are 43, 52, 63, and 87. And upon reconsideration, the piece of legislation now empowers the electoral body INEC to determine the mode of conduct of elections and transfer of results. But these and other resolutions came on the heels of serious debate by a cross-section of senators.
Because 43 now makes provision for acceptance of electronic voting machine and electronic or transfer of results, which means results being transferred either electronically or physically, which is exactly what caused the problem.
It will make the electorate to vote according to their conscience. It will give them choice. Unlike the delegate system, where moneybags will simply hijack the party and enthrone whoever they want to enthrone, regardless of whether he's acceptable or not.
A good percentage of party members are still, majority are still literate, especially in the rural areas. And they're asking us to conduct, asking them to come and vote. We require a lot of enlightenment rather than having indirect that would limit the numbers of those who can participate in primary elections.
What is being proposed in clause 87 with respect to conduct of primaries by way of ensuring that every card-carrying member of a political party is able to participate is something that will really advance the cause of our democracy.
In case of presidential primaries, it needs to be staggered. So I'm adding a proviso, provided that in the case of presidential primaries, the parties shall stagger their primaries along geopolitical zones. So in that case, the primaries doesn't need to take one. In that case, the primaries doesn't need to take place one day, because this is the American model.
The passage of the amended clauses of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill was subject to voice vote in the Red Chamber.
Those in favor of Clause 52 as amended, say aye. Aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 63 Clause 63 is what was referred to in Clause 52. So if we want to know what the implication of 52 is, we read the whole of 63. So those in favor, 63, Clause 63 is counting of votes and forms. So those in favor of that Clause 63 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it.
Upon review of the already passed bill, Clause 43 now empowers political party agents to inspect electronic voting machines and also monitor distribution of electoral materials in the lead-up to elections, while Clause 63 makes it mandatory for results to be announced at the polling units. And Clause 87 now provides that political parties nominate candidates by direct primaries that will be monitored by INEC, with all these parties expected to have valid registers of party members. Godfrey Eshamoge, Galaxy News, Abuja.
The Senate has confirmed the nomination of Justice Hussaini Baba Yusuf as Chief Judge of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. Justice Yusuf's confirmation followed the consideration of a report by the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters. Chairman of the committee, Senator Okwayemi Bamidele, in his presentation, said that his nomination satisfies the requirements of the 1999 Constitution as amended and the Senate Standing Orders 2015 as amended. The lawmaker stated that the nominee has a wide range of experience, comportment, exposure, and possesses the requisite leadership qualities of a judicial officer to effectively superintend over a court of such magnitude and complexity.
All considered the report of the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters on the screening of Mr. President's nominee for appointment as Chief Judge of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory and approved the nomination of Honorable Justice Hussaini Baba Yusuf as Chief Judge of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Thank you very much.
The Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, having screened the nominee and being satisfied about his exposure, experience, performance, qualifications, and competence, hereby recommends that the Senate do confirm the nomination of Honorable Hussaini Baba Yusuf for appointment as the Honorable Chief Judge of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, has announced that copies of the President's letter and budget to lawmakers will be distributed to members soon for debate on the general principles of the document. The Speaker also said members who are interested in debates on the budget as presented are free to discuss its merits and demerits as presented by Mr. President. The debate will be held for 2 days, Wednesdays and Thursday, after which plenary will be suspended for work to start on the budget defense.
We're having the debates for 2 days, tomorrow and Thursday, after which we will suspend plenary for work to start on the budget, for committees to do their oversight, defense of budget, and the timetable will be released to the committees, I believe, by tomorrow.
Meanwhile, members of the House of Representatives has expressed support for the establishment of the Southwest and the Southeast Development Commissions. The support was made on the floor of the House during Tuesday's plenary. The House also adopted recommendations of its Committee on Defense for the establishment of special financial support for the revamping of the Nigerian Armed Forces. Presenting the two reports, Chairman House Committee on Justice, Honorable Uzurigbo Ugonna, said the bill which seeks to establish Southwest Development Commission will be charged with the responsibility to receive and manage funds from allocation of the Federation account, including donations and gifts. the reconstruction and rehabilitation of roads, houses, and other infrastructural damages suffered by the region, as well as execution of such other works and functions which are required for the sustainable development of the Southwest states and its people. Revelations from the Pandora Papers have continued to generate a ripple effect throughout the country. This comes against the backdrop of the annual loss of $18 billion to illicit financial flows. A team of international journalists, including Nigerians, uncovered many questionable financial dealings involving politicians, among others, including those in the present government. The Pandora Papers episode has been received in many ways by many people, but some section of the public see it as a higher form of whistleblowing. Joining us live via Zoom to speak on this is Awal Musa Rafsanjani, Executive Director, CIS LAC, the Nigerian chapter of Transparency International. Thanks for joining us on Galaxy Television News. Okay, it is good to see you finally. Thanks for joining us on Galaxy Television News. I can't hear you, but I don't know if you can hear me. Let me just go straight to the question. Is the Pandora Papers a form of whistleblowing on a bigger scale?
Yeah, well, I think this is a good opportunity for us, if we are serious as a nation, to begin to tackle mega corruption that has become a stumbling block to development in Nigeria. According to Nigerian laws and regulation, public office holders are not allowed to operate foreign accounts and doing business while serving in the office. You could see that many of the people in both the three report that had happened, which was the Paradise Paper, Panama Paper, and the Pandora Paper now. All of them serving public officials have been fingered in those reports. Unfortunately, because of the political corruption in Nigeria, none of these reports has been, investigated, and individual found in this scandal, none of them has been also, sanctioned. So we can see that it is very clear the fight against corruption in Nigeria has not been really taken seriously. If you can allow this kind of grand mega corruption that continue to undermine development in Nigeria, because there is no reason for the country to be in the miserable condition it is if money that is meant for development are not stolen. But you could see that an average of 18 billion US dollars is being stolen annually by the public office holders. Then, which means that the CBN, its regulation and enforcement is called to question. There is need to also ensure that code of conduct, which is supposed to verify claims of public office holders' asset declaration, is strengthened in order to carry out its responsibility as enshrined in the Constitution. But because the fight against corruption that is being talked about in Nigeria, it remains still not in a manner that can really prevent the corruption from happening, as well as also putting sanction on those who have continuously perpetrated this act of unpatriotism and criminality, because siphoning public taxpayers' money is criminal. And therefore, government cannot claim to be fighting corruption and allow this kind of money to be going out of the country. This money, some of it are direct stealing. Some of it are attempts to avoid paying taxes. And if you have a government that continue to borrow money, while we have money, surplus money, that are supposed to be collected from various companies and individuals, and you continue to plunge the country into a perpetual debt collector, then I think it is a huge concern, because we cannot be having this kind of large amount of money leaving the country illegally, and then you continue to plunge the country into a perpetual debt. So we are saying that government must investigate the 3 reports: the Panama paper, the Paradise paper, and the Pandora paper. Must investigate and take decisive action against those who constitute themselves as people who will want to continue to undermine and bring the country to a misery by continuing to siphon and steal public taxpayers' money.
Briefly, before we let you go, you were very candid in indicting the CBN for allowing leakages to make illicit financial flow happens. How can this be corrected? Briefly, please.
There's need to have a total reform in Central Bank of Nigeria, and also review its policies and regulatory framework and enforcement. This is the only way we can block the leakages. And anybody conniving within the Central Bank to allow this diversion of huge amount of money annually from the Nigerian, coffer, then that person, need to be sanctioned. And any other collaborator within the government that is also helping to collaborate to make sure that this money are stolen must be punished.
Apologize, we've lost signal. Okay, thank you so much. Awal Musa Rasanjani, Executive Director, CISLA.
Thank you very much.
Still ahead on Galaxy, Chidima Ojukwu, main suspect of the murder of Super VCO Samuel Michael Ataga, pleads not guilty to 8 counts of murder, stealing and forgery. We'll bring you details of that and more when we'll come back from our break. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying tuned. This is Galaxy Television News. For more updated latest news, visit our website, galaxytvonline.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV Nigeria. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. You can also avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. If you have breaking news around you, simply share your story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 0818-6666-669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments. Members of the House of Representatives on Tuesday cried out to the Federal Capital Territory Administration to, as a matter of urgency, commence renovation of the National Assembly complex. The lawmakers were forced to hasten their legislative duties at Lisbon following the lack of functional air.
Sir, we are suffocating because the place is extremely hot. in my opinion, sir, we could have a way of either adjourning the business of the day or whatever, or giving time so that the air conditioners can be put, in the proper shape.
We would expect that the landlords and the owners of the structure, which is the FCT, would take appropriate action to make sure that we stay in a very clement environment to do our business.
Enumerating these issues, this building belongs not to the National Assembly but to the FCT, and they make it conducive for us. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. As I mean.
Just on to Galaxy Television News. The Pension Transitional Arrangements Directorate, PTAD, has launched the pilot phase of the I Am Alive confirmation project to help ascertain the eligible pensioners under the Directorate payroll. Executive Director of PTAD, Chioma Ejikeme, who performed the official launch of the I Am Alive confirmation project in Abuja Tuesday, said many complaints had trailed PTAD for calling out aged pensioners for field verification exercise in the past years, and that the I Am Alive confirmation concept will hitherto ease the future validation of pensioners on PTAD payroll.
The I Am Alive confirmation solution is a web-based...
To advertise your brand live on television, send global messages on real time to celebrate your loved ones and their memorable moments. All you need is to join the Holla Holla bandwagon and simply send a goodwill request plus a music track to greet someone special. What better way than to record a 15-second selfie video of your request to wish someone well and send it to our social media platforms on facebook.com/GalaxyTV, Instagram @officialGalaxyTV, and you will get to watch these live and Holla Holla request show viewed by millions of viewers across the world. Yes, you can reach your loved ones and markets without leaving your comfort zone. Call and send in your videos by using hashtag Holla Holla to celebrate with friends during these special moments like birthdays, album launch, wedding anniversaries, housewarming ceremonies, and many more for a token. Holla Holla now and we'll make it a worthwhile adventure for you. For sponsorship and advert placement on this show and on our social media platforms, please call Galaxy Television marketing lines on 0902 687 5448 or 0803 657 5318. Join us for a never-ending fun on television.
Monday to Friday, 8 to 9 p.m. and on Sunday,